like to call a meeting to order for the City Council for November 20th, 2023. We could all please stand and play for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Our Reverend isn't here tonight, so I'll just have a moment of silence. Please remember the people in the war, Rosalind Carter, who has just passed away, and the Gentry family, who has just lost a member of their family. If we could now have the roll call, please.
Certainly. Councilpersons Bear is not here. Dupre? Here. Ross? Here. Salcido?
Here.
Soar?
Here.
Tobin?
Here.
And Mayor Higgins.
Here.
Thank you.
For Mayor's remarks, I have some dates that I want everybody to remember. Fantasyland is opening up this weekend, November 25th at 6 o'clock. Remind everybody that on December 2nd, the DDA will be doing a tree lighting. You'll be invited to come into the middle of Southfield for tree lighting and then walk over across the street to the museum. I'm sure there will be some goodies and some refreshment. November 28th, the Guidance Center will be doing a literacy event. And I invite all to take part in that. I'd like to, at this point, acknowledge DECA is here, and it is DECA month, and we would like to give them a proclamation. The city clerk has agreed to read this.
So, whereas DECA is an intensive and relevant co-curriculum organization at Lincoln Park High School, advised by Leslie Berrigan and Candy Plow, and whereas DECA prepares emerging leaders and entrepreneurs for careers in marketing, finance, hospitality, and management in high schools and colleges around the globe, and whereas students in DECA participate in meaningful, authentic experiences that improve the quality of their education and character development while increasing student engagement, and whereas through the participation in DECA activities, 97% of DECA members say they learned how to communicate thoughts and ideas, how to organize a presentation, and more about what businesses expect from employees while gaining problem-solving skills. And whereas more than 92% of DECA members say their experience empowered them to be effective leaders and connected school to the real world, nearly 82% of DECA members say DECA helped them recognize the benefit of community service. And whereas DECA members say their experience prepared them academically for college and career, influenced their college plans, influenced their career plans, and influenced their interest in entrepreneurship and owning a business. And whereas DECA at Lincoln Park High School does regular projects and activities within its school and the surrounding communities in both academics and community service. Now, therefore, I, Michael Higgins, Mayor of Lincoln Park, Michigan, by virtue of the authority vested in me by the laws of the City of Lincoln Park, do hereby proclaim November 2023 as DECA month across the City of Lincoln Park. And I urge all residents to become familiar with the benefits offered by DECA at Lincoln Park High School to continue to support and, when possible, participate in these programs to insist in enhancing these students' individual skills and learning.
I don't have an official certificate to give to you because our secretary was off today, but if you please come up, I'd like to give you this.
You go around so you can get your picture taken with them, too.
Go.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, kids.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you. It's fun.
You guys look wonderful. You're so professional.
Congratulations, honey.
Awesome, good job.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. Congratulations. Well, your nails are beautiful.
Congratulations again.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Thank you, DECA.
DECA is not only a huge part of our high school and part of our state, they do competitions around the entire state. This year, I'm very proud of them. They won a competition and raised money for muscular dystrophy, and I think they deserve a big applause. Would any of you like to say anything?
Thank you so much for having us.
Okay. All right. You had your chance.
Good job.
All right. Moving along. Resolve that the following items listed under the consent agenda be approved and presented to the mayor and city council. Approved the regular meetings of November 6th. Approved the special meetings of the closed session for land acquisition on November 6th. Accounts and claims payable. Appointments to the Charter Review Committee, Councilman Bear. Appoint to the Charter Review Committee 2 new members. Schedule a study session for the code enforcement. Schedule a special meeting closed session for the employment review. And schedule a special meeting review for city manager interviews.
I'll move.
I'll support.
But can we please just name off the two, and, individuals to the committee instead of saying two, who they are?
It's Mike Berrigan and Kathy, or not Kathy Carter, we already did
Tom
her.
Carnes.
Tom Carnes.
Thank you.
Call for the vote.
Councilpersons Ross,
Yes.
Tobin,
Yes.
Dupre.
Yes.
Salcido.
Yes.
Soar.
Yes.
And Mayor Higgins.
Yes.
I guess this one's me. So under, we do updates periodically with the publishing company that puts our ordinances together and updates them and puts them online. And this is our most recent update. So whereas American Legal Publishing Corporation has completed its most recent updating of the codified ordinances of the city, and whereas various resolutions of a general and permanent nature have been passed by council since the date of the last updating of the codified ordinances, which was August 11th of 2023, and have been included in the codified ordinances of the city, therefore be it resolved that Section 1, the editing, arrangement, and numbering or renumbering of the following resolutions and parts of resolutions are hereby approved as parts of the various component codes of the codified ordinances of the city, so as to conform to the classification and numbering system of the codified ordinances. Resolution number 423A on January 3rd of 2023. It's covered sections 205D.01 and 205D.08, Resolution 22099A on April 3rd, 2023, covers sections 826.01, 826.03, 826.10, 826.12, 826.13. Resolution 23100A on the same date covers sections 878.06, 878.08, and 878.10. And on 5/2 of 23, the voters approved an amendment to Charter Chapter 5, Section 5. Resolution number 23208A on July 3rd of 23 covered section 1482.01. The effective date of this resolution shall be the 21st day of November 2023.
I'll move.
I'll support. Through the chair.
And before I do that, I'd just like to make sure the public knows and understands that everything that is published is online, so you can check it out yourself from citylp.com.
I was just going to say, if all these numbers and all these sections and everything else, if we could just go like the first one, the 2205D, those go for the emergency service cost recovery. The next ones are for the food truck ordinances. The next ones are for the recurring applications, so they don't have to come to council. The charter, Chapter V, Section 5, are setting the council dates every December. And the last one is for the rental units, the new ordinances on those, just so everybody knows what they're entailing. It's just, you look at all those numbers, you don't have a clue what we're talking about, so those are just a general description of what they entail. If you want to go on online or into the ordinances to look them up, that's what it is, but just a general description of what we're talking about.
Okay, anybody else have something to say? Okay, then we'll call for the vote.
Mayor Higgins?
Yes.
Councilwoman Dupre?
Yes.
Councilpersons Ross?
Yes.
Salcido?
Yes.
Zor?
Yes.
And Tobin?
Yes.
Yes. The next agenda item, we're going to wait until we do the department head report. We're going to take it a little out of order. And we're going to go with the city manager's report.
All right, thank you very much, Mayor. Good evening, everybody. Not a ton to report this evening as we're heading headstrong now into the holiday season. But the audit work is pretty much wrapped up now. Excellent work to Lisa Griggs and her finance team. We're getting some really good news, continuing to build fund balance, continuing to improve the city's net position. So a lot of good stuff coming out of the audit. The animal shelter is coming along. We had a visit, a kind of early in the process visit from the state inspector just to kind of make sure things are on track. For the most part, they are. They had some suggestions, things that they're going to want to see. So we were able to do this at a point where it's not going to be hard to accommodate. So that's exciting. We're hoping to be able to start getting final inspections, hopefully sometime close to the end of the year, and be able to start taking animals not far long after. So that project's moving along pretty well. I do want to remind everybody we have made the migration to the Code Red for emergency notifications. So you can go onto our website, and at the top of the website, you'll see the Code Red logo. It's up there with the Facebook logo and all of that. It's kind of like a circle with some different colors on it. So you'd expect it to be red, but the parent company has this logo. Or if you want to take the easy route, you can just text LP Alerts to 24639, and you'll get a link to sign up. So that's LP Alerts, LPALERTS, to telephone number 24639. Other than that, we are closed here at the city buildings on Thursday and Friday in observance of Thanksgiving. So that's all I have prepared for everybody tonight, but I'm happy to answer any questions you may have.
Through the chair.
Good. Lillian, you're first.
Thank you. Did you receive my email?
I did.
Okay.
I did.
And I left hard copies on your desk because I want us all to be on the same page. And we need a little follow-up from the discussion on Ruby Recycling from the last meeting. Because it was stated in the meeting that there were no new complaints. But I want to make it clear that the complaints existed and the residents were waiting on those complaints to be addressed. Okay? I also want to touch on the fact that the noise has not been addressed at all. And so it was stated in the meeting that that wouldn't be addressed unless complaints were made. So here's an official list of complaints, and the noise is included on here. I want, on behalf of the residents of the neighborhood, for their complaints to be officially recorded. I want action, and I want a plan developed so that we will see some resolution from this. I'm also asking, on behalf of the citizens of Lincoln Park, that Ruby Recycling adhere to the site standards that we have in our ordinances. We have ordinances, they're in black and white, and I would like them to adhere to them. To me, it should not matter whether they went to planning or not. It doesn't change the fact that they're a junkyard, that they're a full-fledged scrapyard. And we have site standards, and they should meet them. I'm also asking on behalf of the citizens of Lincoln Park that our ordinances and our processes are always followed when bringing in new businesses. So with that said, I'm requesting for the formation of an oversight committee to be formed to review the new business application approval process and determine if it needs to be amended so that we don't have an error like this again. Can we do that?
It's well within the power of the council to establish a subcommittee, an ad hoc committee, if you will.
Okay, perfect.
I believe we could probably come back with a resolution for the next meeting.
Beautiful.
Time.
And could have everybody's opinion on what they want that subcommittee to exactly do, what the overseer should do, so that we can get it right within the next 2 weeks and get it before us.
Well, it's exactly reviewing the processes that we have in place, if they're not written down, they should be written down. But we need to review the new business application approval process. We need to make sure that the right eyes are on the application and the right people are making these approvals.
I think also the businesses need to adhere to the ordinances standards that we have, that they meet not only the business districts that they're trying to apply for, but they also meet the standards that our ordinances state. And if they go to building, that building needs to make sure that those are met also.
Yeah, we'll bring a resolution and kind of an outline back to the next meeting.
Thank you.
Anybody else would like to have a question for the city manager?
I do. I'd like to know if, I'm sorry, did I cut you?
No.
No?
Okay.
You're up.
I had several discussions with people on Park Street, the damage that was done from the semi-trucks that went down the street. We had light bulb taken out twice. That finally was addressed, and they put a new pole with a new light up on that. There's some heaved handicap walk that needs to be addressed, some streets that need to be addressed, some trees that need to be addressed. My understanding was that today or yesterday, the tree was addressed.
Okay.
Southfield and Applewood's another corner that needed to be addressed. And I told them I would just bring it up, so I brought it up.
Thank you. We will take a look at the current conditions and what might need to be done.
Thank you.
Through the chair, Your Honor.
Absolutely.
Hello, just a spin-off on Councilwoman Ross. I was under the impression 2 weeks ago that things were going okay myself in regards to Ruby's as far as the complaints. I know I hadn't received no emails or text messages, so I thought things were moving forward, but obviously, I see the list of complaints. These are some of the ones that we had in the beginning, so if you're getting complaints, I'm glad that you're sharing it with us, so thank
Well,
you for that.
If you don't mind, if I could add that I know there have been complaints made on the stacking of the cars. I don't know if they get a warning, what kind of, contact is made with them, but it continues to happen. So, so again, the complaint still exists.
And with Richmond being done, and we got big trucks going down there, that's an issue.
Exactly.
But anyway, thank you for bringing this up. My only question, City Manager, was historically I asked about the Sears Mall, but what's going on with J.C. Penney, that particular building in the Lincoln Park Plaza? Anything, is it going to come down? Is someone going to buy it? Is it livable?
What do you think of the Farmer Jack building?
Yep. Did I say J.C. Penney?
you said J.C. Penney.
It used to be Hardee's.
So that building's on the radar for the Dangerous Building Board. The building department is watching that pretty closely, putting everything together to be able to deal with it. We don't believe it's really in any kind of shape to still be there.
Gotcha. That's all I have, thank you.
Anybody else have anything for the city manager? There was one, we did get some information today. I don't even know if the city manager heard it for sure yet. I was hoping he was going to announce it, but since he didn't, I will tell you. We officially were told today that we have the grant so that the Emmons Bridge will be replaced.
Nice.
So, it's much needed. Okay. With that, we're going to move to the department head, which will be our city clerk this particular week.
Okay, so the reason I asked to hold off these last two resolutions, the one that was on the agenda plus the miscellaneous that I put before you, is because a lot of the stuff that I'm going to be talking about is probably stuff that the public wanted to hear, and it was stuff I was going to include in the department head report anyway. So I wanted to do that first so that it kind of explained to you why I was going to ask you to do those last two resolutions. So in November of 2022, there was a proposal on the ballot that the Michigan voters passed that changes the constitution of the state regarding voting rights and regulations. Along with that came a whole bunch of legislation from the legislature to support that change. So there are going to be some very dramatic changes that everybody's going to see in 2024 regarding voting. Some of them will be, from the voters' perspective, very minor, and a lot of stuff that I have to do in the office with some procedures and policies and stuff. Other things are going to be very, very obvious and apparent and really affect the voters. So I'm going to go down and just kind of give you an idea of some of the things that changed with Proposal 22-2. Online, what we call move ballots, which are for our military and overseas voters, they have always been protected under federal law, but those federal regulations have now been adopted into the state constitution to doubly protect that those voters are acquitted special preference in voting. It will allow us now to have the County Board of Canvassers tabulate those move ballots for the military that are postmarked by Election Day but not received in our office until several days later. It will update the requirements for identification at the precincts and add an additional form of ID from local governments or municipalities that has never been there before. It makes drop boxes mandatory. We actually already have them in place and have been using them, so that's not going to be anything that anybody sees a change in. Audits will be performed only by election officials. No one who is not an accredited election official will be able to touch any election equipment. Donations will be allowed under specific rules from private sources to help fund elections, and like I said, there are very specific rules that go along with being allowed to accept those. Canvassers, the boards of canvassers, the county and state boards of canvassers are now required to certify the results of elections based only on the official records of votes cast. There has been some stuff in the past that people were voting according to their opinions or feelings and stuff like that, and that's not going to be able to happen anymore. One of the significant things that the voters are going to see is all absentee ballots and applications will now include prepaid return postage. There are new rules regarding signature curing. If we see that a signature comes in on an AV ballot that we have an issue with, we have specific rules now and timelines to follow that out with. It's not really going to change what my office does because we've always done these things within 24 hours like the law now says. So it won't really affect us because we've already been doing that. Ballot tracking is provided by the state, and that's a requirement of the law. And it now will allow us to do early AV ballot processing, which means that we will be able to take some of the absentee ballots and run them through the tabulator before Election Day so that the people in the AV board are not here until 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning processing 10,000 ballots in a single day. The things that are really going to affect the voters the most are the next 3 things that I'm going to talk about. And before I say anything about those, I want to tell you that I'm going to do something that I don't, in the 20 years that I've worked in that office down there, never seen happen before. And I'm going to have a meeting at the band shell. There'll be 2 sessions of it called Ask the Clerk Understanding Elections, where I will do a presentation to them. The voters are welcome to come and attend. They can either come at 1 o'clock in the afternoon or 7 p.m. at night. It will be at the Kennedy Memorial Building on January 18th. And I will explain all of these changes to them in detail. I'm probably not going to get into a lot of detail on these changes tonight, but I will then. I will tell you that everybody is about to get a notice that looks a little bit like this. It will be, not emailed, it will be postal mailed to each and every voter in the city that explains what the new rules will be, how it happens, and it does have the thing about the Ask the Clerk date on it. It also includes a couple of things that I'm going to ask you to vote on in a few minutes. So one of the biggest changes that voters are going to see is we're going to provide a permanent ballot list. That means that after filling out a single application, you can check a box on it and say, yes, I always want to vote absentee, and we will automatically mail that voter an absentee ballot for every future election. It's a one-and-done thing. So those people that are on the permanent application list, when they get their applications this year, end of December, beginning of January for the presidential primary, will have the option to return that application and check that box. And from now on, they won't have to fill out another application. From that point forward, they won't have to fill out another application. We will automatically mail them a ballot for each and every election. The other thing that they're going to see come from Proposal 22-2 is early voting. We now have to, before every statewide or federal election, provide 9 days minimum of early voting for the voters to go to a location, obtain a ballot, mark the ballot, and feed it into a tabulator prior to Election Day. That period begins 2 Saturdays before each election and runs from that Saturday through the next week to the following Sunday. It's 9 days long. We're open for 8 hours each of those days, and you guys have already designated our early voting site as the band shell building. So all Lincoln Park voters who want to early vote in person prior to Election Day will be able to do that at the band shell building just by coming in and filling out an application like you do when you go to the precincts. We'll issue you the ballot, you'll mark it, feed it into the tabulator, and you'll be all done. So the other thing that the voters are going to see is that part of the new legislation, because of all of the early voting time and the new AV permanent ballot list, that we're not going to have as much traffic in the precincts because those people that were going to go to the precincts are now able to spread out over 9 days. They've increased our precinct size. Our limit used to be 3,000 people per precinct. They've now upped that to 5,000. And so the other resolution that I'm putting before you tonight is to allow us to consolidate from 12 precincts down to 6. The highest number that I have in any precinct when we do this will be 4,000. But if you spread those, even if everybody voted in person, if you spread them out over 10 days, you're only looking at 400 people. Half of them actually will vote absentee. That's been about our thing. So you're only looking at 200 people over the course of a 13-hour day. That's not a lot of traffic. So I do firmly believe that we can handle that traffic with 6 precincts. It cuts down the amount of equipment that has to be prepared. It cuts down the amount of workers that we have to have, and it's getting more and more difficult to recruit workers with the climate that's out there right now. There are a lot of threats against election workers, and a lot of my workers are really nervous. Certainly not Jack in the front row here, but a lot of the rest of them are really nervous.
Knowledge.
Yeah,
We've got
right.
plenty of workers, but we've got to have the knowledge, and if you put the knowledge in one direction, then if we don't have one knowledge person in one precinct, then we've got another guy that can kind of help the other precincts.
So we'll condense our workers and get our experienced people together and be able to keep that moving and provide the best service to the voters, I think, if we do this way. I think it's not only fiscally responsible, but I think it's a much better use of our brain trust that we have in our election workers. It cuts down on the amount of schools that we're going to have to require to be open. It provides a lot of pluses for us. So, having said that, let's go on to the temporary change of polling location, which was the resolution that was originally on the agenda. So whereas the City of Lincoln Park is required to hold elections on February 27th, 2024, May 7th, 2024, August 6th, 2024, and November 5th, 2024, and whereas school is in session on February 27th and May 7th, and the safety of our children is of the highest concern, and having voting precincts at the schools can compromise their safety, and the school buildings are closed and undergoing summer maintenance on August 6th, and whereas in accordance with the Michigan Election Law 168.6624, the local governing body is charged with approving any and all changes in voting precinct locations. Therefore, be it resolved that the mayor and council hereby approve the temporary relocation of all voting precincts to Kennedy Memorial Building, 3240 Ferris, for election days on February 27th, 2024, May 7th, 2024, and August 6th, 2024, per the recommendation of the city clerk. Be it further resolved that as schools are not in session for the general election, voters will return to their regular precinct to vote on November 5th, 2024 during the presidential election.
And I'll so move.
Support.
Or any
Anybody have any
questions?
questions?
I have a question. When you do the Ask the Clerk, is it going to be taped so that maybe we could,
That's our hope,
yeah, okay, good.
that Don can make one or the other of them at least and get that so we can run it
So
on
we
the...
can, yeah, replay. Thank you.
Any other questions? And we'll call for the vote.
Okay, Mayor Higgins?
Yes.
Councilperson Zoer?
Yes.
Dupre?
Yes.
Ross?
Yes.
Salcido?
Yes.
And Tobin?
Yes.
Okay. And then the other resolution, the miscellaneous one that I had, is to actually consolidate the precincts. So whereas pursuant to Michigan Compiled Law 1686626, the legislative body of a city or township or a board of county election commissioners is provided under section 720G shall not establish, move, or abolish a polling place, early voting site, or central polling place less than 60 days before an election unless necessary because a polling place, voting site, or central polling place has been damaged, destroyed, or rendered inaccessible or unusable as a polling place, early voting site, or central polling place. And whereas pursuant to MCL 1686591, If a county, city, ward, township, village, metropolitan district, or school district is divided into 2 or more election precincts, the county, city, ward, township, or village election commissioners may, by resolution, consolidate the election precincts for a particular election that is not a general November election, primary election immediately before a general November, or otherwise state federal election. In making the determination to consolidate election precincts for a particular election, the Election Commission shall take into consideration the number of choices the voter must make, the percentage of registered voters who voted at the last similar election, and the intensity of the interest of the electors in the jurisdiction. Consolidating precincts shall not exceed 5,000 active registered electors. A consolidation under this section shall not be made less than 60 days before a primary, general, or special election. Therefore, be it resolved that the following established voting precincts be combined to establish new precincts effective November 21st, 2023. Precinct number 1 will be the former precincts 6 and 8, and they will be located at Pond School, bounded on the east and south by I-75 and on the west and north by the city limits. Precinct 3 will be the former precincts 2 and 4, to be located at Ropp School, bounded on the north and east by the city limits, on the south by the center line of Southfield, and on the west by I-75. Precinct 5 will be the former precincts 10 and 20, to be located at Foot School, bounded on the west by I-75, on the north by the center line of Southfield Road, on the east by the center line of Fort Street, and on the south by the alley south of New York Avenue. Precinct number 7 will be the former precincts 12 and 14, to be located at Kennedy Memorial Building, bounded on the west by the center line of Fort Street, on the north by the center line of Southfield, on the east by the city limits, and on the south by the alley south of Stewart Ave. Precinct number 9 will be former precincts 18 and 22, to be located at Hoover School, bounded on the south and west by the city limits, on the north by the alley south of New York, and on the east by the center line of Fort Street. Precinct 11, formerly precincts 16 and 24, to be located at Carr School, bounded on the west by the center line of Fort Street, on the north by the alley south of Stewart, and on the east and south by the city limits.
So move.
Support.
Any questions for the clerk? Okay. I only have one, and this is an obvious one, but I want to make sure that this map with the new thing will be put on television and on the web.
I will replace the old one as soon as the state approves it.
Okay.
It won't happen tomorrow after you guys approve it, because the state still has to do their thing on this, okay?
And with that, I will call for the vote.
Okay. Mayor Higgins?
Yes.
Councilpersons Ross?
Yes.
Dupre?
Yes.
Salcido?
Yes.
Soar?
Yes.
And Tobin?
Yes.
Thank you.
Moving on to that, we'll do with the citizens' communications. Is anybody who would like to address this body? Just a gentleman back there with the sling, come on up.
My wife and I have lived on the 1900 block of Marquise for nearly 60 years. We are both disabled senior citizens, and as all of you, we are shocked to see the price of everything going up lately. I realize I have a very limited time here, so what I'm going to discuss today is mainly our water bill. I recently got my October water bill. There's just 2 of us in the house, and we don't have a swimming pool. We rarely water our grass. My water bill was $236. I was accustomed to $100 water bills just 2 or 3 years ago. So I looked over my water bill to see what all the charges are on this water bill. I'll try to talk fast. I found out online we have 15,200 residents that are occupied homes in this city. On our water bill, we each pay $36.51 per quarter for rubbish pickup, which has been very substandard. On my street, I call almost every week because something's been forgotten, and you're lucky if they come back the next day. Sometimes you got to put the stuff back in the yard and bring it out the next week. So that $36.51 for 15,200 homes, this does not count any businesses, just homes alone, is $1,700,000 a year that we're paying this rubbish company. Next is the recycling. Years ago, many of you remember, we had a mayor that stopped our recycling because it was costing the citizens, and it was supposed to be a for-profit venture. I don't know if it's currently a for-profit venture, but we're currently paying $16.27 per quarter on our bill. That comes out to $750,000 a year for 15,200 homes. You can address these questions, please, when I'm done. I want to get through this so that I don't take too much time. One of my questions is, are we receiving a profit for our recycling? And secondly, if we are, is that profit going towards the payment of this that citizens are paying for? Is it coming off of our part for the payment of the recycling services? Next, I won't even go through capital improvements, which is $2,250 a quarter, but that's over $1 million a year. Another thing on our bill is a 3/4 inch meter. We pay $9.21 per quarter for a 3/4 inch meter, whatever that thing is. That's $415,000 a year for these 15,200 homes. Is this 3/4 inch meter ever paid off? Or is this something we're going to pay for perpetuity forever, whatever it is? I doubt that, I see we have some city employees here, Department of Public Works, maybe they can answer these questions. Just for your own information, of my $236 water bill, $57 of it was for water. $91 of it was for sewer, almost double for sewer. I called the water department to see if, first of all, is there any relief for seniors? They gave me no response, no help. And secondly, why is my water bill so high? So they did a check and said, well, we show no leaks. It's just all these other accessorial charges that are added onto our bill. So that's my last question regarding the water bill. And lastly, I have two questions regarding these mailings. I've gotten at least 3 of these from the Service Line Warranty Company to pay for our own insurance for our water line and our sewer line exiting our home. One question, is that a service that was formerly covered by the city? And secondly, for my own benefit, the one is for exit, or for, what's it called? One is for water, one's for sewer. Is that sewer line my crock that goes out my backyard? Is that what it covers? That's what I need to know. Other than that, we, as citizens and household owners, pay an average of $1,500 a year in taxes. By my calculation, that comes up to $22 million a year. Again, this does not count any businesses, just residents. $21,800,000 a year. Of that, can't the city pay some of these charges on our water bills? Can't they get us a better rubbish company? Can't they pay for these sewer lines and water lines? And the capital expenses, I see no improvements in the city of Lincoln Park. I've been here, like I say, over 60 years. I'm 70 years old now. I see no improvements. I don't see no road improvements. At the corner of our street, there's an alley. A kid could fall and get hurt badly in these, the ruts in these, missing cement in these, on the roads and in the alleyways. Anyways, I thank you, Mayor and Council, for listening to me, and I pray you can address some of these concerns concerning our water bill. Thank you.
I would ask that you please contact City Hall tomorrow so that you can have a conversation. I'm here in the afternoon, or you can talk with the city manager, and he can give you a longer answer than we could give tonight. For various legal reasons, we don't answer a lot of questions before the council, but if you want the answers, please call tomorrow, City Hall, and I'll speak with you, or the city manager will speak with you and give you the answers on every one of those questions.
Appreciate it.
Thank you. Okay. Is there anybody else would like to come forward?
Good evening, Mayor and City Council. I've got three things I want to address. I want to first of all thank, as I'm walking my emotional support animal, Truffles, up and down the residential street, 4 cars at various times of the day rolled down the window and warned me of loose dogs on the next block over or a block south of me. So somehow that issue has to be addressed so I can walk her safely through the residential areas. But again, I appreciate the 4 individuals that took the courtesy, the time to warn me to stay off various streets. They didn't specify what the street was, but I knew I wasn't going to go any farther east, west, north, or south. I was going to stay on that block, and that was it. So I appreciate those individuals that took the moment to let me know about it. Secondly, I attended the memorial service for the vets on Saturday. That was so awesome. That was so awesome. I really, really enjoyed it. And I was fortunate to be able to ring the bell for an honor of my parents who served in World War II, and I just felt for all the other people that I have known that have served in various, whether it was Korea, Vietnam, or currently in the service right now. It's like, that was awesome. That was really awesome what the city did for that. And lastly, hopefully I can get some insight from you guys, or I have received something from the United States Census. It says your response is required by law. I just got this today, 48 pages that they're asking me to fill out and put information in here. I've had 2 letters over the last month saying they're going to go online and do this. My computer was hacked in February. I'm very reluctant to put anything in the computer, in the internet, but I did get this by paper. I don't know if anybody in the council knows about this, or attorney knows anything about what's going on with this. Why is this being inquired? Census is usually every 10 years, so why is this coming, 4 years down the road? And if I've contacted Washington, they have not responded to me. I've contacted Lansing, they haven't responded to me, and now I'm addressing you guys. So it's like, if anybody has any idea or what direction I can go to get some answers on this before I fill out these 48 pages and tell them I cross my T from left to right or right to left? It's like, what do I do? So that's why I'm addressing this issue to
I
you.
would suggest contacting Cherie Tenardar, our congressman. That's who, he would have to give you those answers. That's
Okay, well, like I said, I
beyond
contacted Lansing and I contacted Washington, so I haven't got any response, so it's,
or I would contact them, or Debbie Stabenow. That's beyond our reach.
so I don't know what's, okay, thank you.
Does anybody else like to address the council? Come on over.
Thank you, Council, for having an opportunity to express our concerns that we have with the Ruby Recycling Company. And because of the diligence that Ms. Ross has committed herself through the communication with myself and my wife and some of the neighborhood that I've been up and down the street talking to them, and I have several signatures from the people with their concerns as well. But like I said, thank you for having an opportunity. We have more concerns that are written down here that we have established, and my wife and myself have come up with this documentation with the concerns, which at this point I would like to take and read to you to express all of the needs that we have in that community. And this is what it states. By the way, I live on Pago, which is right across the street. We've lived there for, well, since '78, whatever that number is. Jack, he lives right down the street, just a few houses from me, and this is reality of what we see and what we have going on within our community every day. And this is what it was written by my wife and myself, and this is what I'd like to read right now. It says, "To whom it may concern, I'm writing to bring to your attention some serious concerns and complaints regarding the Ruby Recycling business, which is in our residential neighborhood. The facility is causing significant disturbances and issues impacting the well-being and quality of life of the residents in the vicinity. First and foremost, the excessive noise generated by this recycling operation has caused great distress among the residents. The noise, which commences as early as 7 a.m., not only is disruptive, but also causes our homes to shake with vibrant throughout the day. The constant disturbance raises a valid concern about the potential damage being done to the foundations of our homes. We fear that the prolonged exposure to such vibrations might compromise the structure integrity of our homes, leading to costly repairs or even worse, safety hazards." This is reality. This is what we hear. The windows vibrate. The noise continues on. Furthermore, the impact of the facility on the surrounding environment is becoming increasingly apparent. Residents have reported the appearance of cracks in their ceilings. I've talked to these people, myself personally. Cracks in the ceilings, which can reasonably be attributed to the vibrations caused by the business. This poses a serious risk to the safety of our homes and underscores the urgency of addressing this issue promptly. In addition to the noise and the structural concerns, the Ruby Recycling business has become an eyesore to the neighborhood. The accumulation of the stacked vehicles taller than the fences is not only aesthetically displeasing, but also raises questions about compliance with local zoning regulations. This blatant disregard for the visual harmony of our community is eroding the overall appeal of our neighborhood, which includes the church and preschool. It's way up there. We've got these cranes that are out there with their arms picking things up, dropping these things, and they're watching us as we're sitting on our porch every day. I'd rather have a police officer watching me instead of having someone that I do not know constantly watching me come and go out of my home. You talk about security risk. This is aggravating. Let's see. Moreover, the strong and unpleasant odors, dust at times, emanating from the facility are causing significant discomfort for the residents. The toxic smells permeate in the air. A film of dust covering cars and homes make it difficult for us to enjoy our outdoor spaces. Young children have a playground that they are daily and exposed to the noise and smells. This issue not only affects our quality of life, but also has potential to impact our health if we are continuously exposed to such hazardous fumes. You know what smell transmission fluid smells like? Brake fluid, rear end dope. This is what's going on over there when they're crushing this stuff. And the noise factor, go into your back bedroom and all of a sudden you hear your wife drop a full tray of knives and forks in your living room. That's silent compared to the noise what these people are dropping in these big containers. It's loud. And I've talked to these people in the past couple of days. They say not only 7 o'clock, 6:30, they're starting early. And noise, we hear in the summertime, radios blasting over there. They're trying to cover up their own noise with radios because they don't want to hear it themselves, crane operators. So we listen to, what do you say, Leonard Skinner? We listen to whatever they happen to be playing to cover up their own noise. That's what we live at.
Okay, it's 5 minutes, so if you could wrap it up, I'd appreciate it.
Okay, so lastly, we have been multiple reports of rodents infestation yards in all the residents. While we understand recycling facilities may inadvertently attract pests, that it's imperative that steps be taken to address this issue promptly and effectively. The presence of the rodents pose health risk and further contribution to the deterioration of the neighborhood's desirability. Anyways, furthermore, and kindly request that the residents are kept informed. This is what we'd like to see. We'd like to see informed about the steps being taken to address these issues and provide resolutions. We seek transparency and communication in this matter. Please consider this letter as an official complaint, and I trust it will be treated with such seriousness as it deserves. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Sincerely, Glenn and Barbara Kuderick. And this is the letter, and these are people that have signed. It only spent a few hours. We've been gone last week for a full week. Only spent a few hours, and they all, you know what they all say? How were they allowed to have this operation? That's what they say. But anyways, I thank you very kindly.
Thank you.
By the way, the people over there on Richmond Street, their gratitude for the new road is immensely. They like their new road. We did speak about that, and they did a great job over there.
Thank you for
So
that.
there's a positive note.
And again, as I spoke to the other gentleman, for legal reasons, we can't answer a lot of questions here, but I will tell you two things. That, number one, the building department was there this morning and talked to the owners. And I will also tell you that the city attorney has spoken with them recently, and we are spoken with them about several issues. That's all I can really say.
Well, what I can
But I want
say
you to know
is
that
thank you very much.
I just want you to know that we are not turning a blind ear. We are hearing.
And we have seen improvement
Okay.
with the dust. I think they did pave on their,
They have paved quite a bit,
Yeah.
and they have
And we
agreed,
did see-
they have agreed to pave quite a bit more over time.
Because that was terrible, so we did see improvement in
Yeah.
that, but it's just the noise, vibration, and all that stuff now.
Does anybody else would like to approach the council? I would like to acknowledge that former Councilman Tom Murphy is here tonight, and I thank you for staying active and saying hello. All right, with that, I'll go on to our reports of our council. I'll start with our council president.
Thank you, Mayor. Our residents have spoken today, that's for sure. The reason why I brought up the Farmer Jack building was because this past week, I went to the Lincoln Park Plaza, went to Jumps Adventure Park. It's, business is really doing well. Anybody go by there and just check it out. It's mostly for kids, but they have birthday parties and everything. Real nice place. The Crazy Hot Deal store, I was in there. Their business is doing well also. Please attend that. The Commando Paintball and Indoor Field, maybe council should go up there with our little paint guns and have a go at it. They said we're welcome anytime. There's the appliance store there that just moved in not too long ago. The Dollar Tree, of course, is always busy. Then on the other part of Emmons, we've got Nina's Niche. I was in there a couple weeks ago with the Grow Spot. That's okay. America's Best. I bought 2 new pairs of glasses there this past summer. There's a closeout store, another one that has all kinds of good merchandise, cheap. Of course, we got HR Black. The boxing gym. I almost went in there before there because they were boxing in there, but I thought I'd come here instead. But that place is really active. Want to exercise, that's good. Of course, we got Ace Hardware. That's one of my first stops that I go when I need tools or whatever. Instead of going to Lowe's, I go to Lincoln Park Ace. And then also the Mystery Escape. You got to go in there. I have not witnessed that, but he showed me around. Perhaps Maureen and Mr. Higgins can explain, but he spoke highly of both of you, that you've done a lot for him. Secondly, I look forward to Ask the Clerk. Are you going to have popcorn and refreshments? Let me know.
Because I have to mop the floor afterwards, so.
Oh, geez, okay, well, thank you for that. Former council member and council president, I would like to say hi to you also. May have got my thunder on that one. And also, finally, in closing, happy Thanksgiving to everybody. Let's be nice to our family and friends and enjoy this time of the season. Thank you, Your Honor, that's all I have.
Okay. Tracy?
I just want to make sure that everyone understands that I agree with Councilman Ross on the subject of the scrapyard. And it does need to stay within ordinance, or I don't know or, but there's an or. I would like to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving and kickoff of the holiday season. We do have a lot of stuff going on. Fantasyland is one of them, and we do have a lot of events to help bring the community together for the holiday, and I hope to see many of you there. And with that, I will say good night and God bless.
Well, there's a lot of stuff going on this weekend. It's going to be quite the weekend here in Lincoln Park. I want to mention the Park Restaurant. Every year, Lee at the Park Restaurant with a bunch of his buddies and Meals on Wheels, they get together and they give out meals to our seniors and our shut-ins. This year, they're doing 250 meals. We put a call out for turkeys on Friday, and by Saturday morning, we had over 40 turkeys. And they'll be preparing these meals and delivering them to 250 seniors and shut-ins Thanksgiving morning. So if anybody would like to donate some time and help deliver turkeys, please go to the park or call. The number is 383-0012. Give an hour of your time, help deliver some of these items out to these seniors and shut-ins. They are so happy to have someone come and just say hi and give them a meal. It's just amazing how happy and grateful they are to anybody that will do something. So if you've got the time, please do it. I'm cooking 4 turkeys tomorrow. Don't ask me how I'm going to do it, but I'm going to do it. And just stop into the park and say thank you for everything they do for this community, because they're always doing something. And all these friends that put in, thank you, everybody that does something. Fantasyland's grand opening Saturday. Please stop in there. Admission is $2 this year, and everybody's been working hard, especially a lot of people on this council have been down there working very hard, so thank everybody for that. The tree lighting on December 2nd, the library fundraiser, December 3rd. It's a craft show, and it's always a lot of fun, so make sure you stop in there. And everybody have a wonderful, blessed Thanksgiving. Spend time with your friends and family, and whatever you can do, stay dry and warm, because it's coming our way, guys. So everybody stay safe, and thank you.
Lillian?
Thank you, Your Honor. I want to thank the residents for coming tonight and voicing their concerns. We talk about raising the bar, but quite honestly, we dropped the bar when it comes to Ruby Recycling. If we spend the time, if we would spend the time to do things right, we wouldn't spend all this time working backwards and trying to get compliance or trying to get things right. And I want to leave it at that. I do want to remind everyone that the big toy box is sitting downstairs in the hallway. There's still time to make your toy donation for the Goodfellows, and that's for their No Child Without a Christmas. Again, Fantasyland is opening, their grand opening is November 25th at 5 p.m. sharp. The Christmas tree lighting, December 2nd at 6 p.m. The museum is also doing a open house from 6 to 8, where they will showcase artwork from the students of Mixter School Institute of Autism. And with that, I want to say Happy Thanksgiving, everyone, to everyone here, everyone at home. And that's it. Thank you.
Mr. Sawyer?
I want to say first, December 1st, Students Goodfellow is Collection Day. There is Toys for Tot Box in the police department's lobby. Police department's always looking for volunteers to help collect donations. December 28th is Skate with a Cop at the community center. Please follow the police department's Facebook page for details. That's all I have for the police department right now. The high school or the schools in our city, Lincoln Park Middle School recently hosted its first eye clinic, providing free vision screenings to more than 75 students. The eye care clinic was conducted in partnership with Dr. Basim Wahab and Mature Vision Mobile Eye Care. Students were evaluated for changes in vision and any potential eye health problems. Around half of the students examined were fitted for prescription eyeglasses during the October 13th clinic. Lincoln Park High School Theater kicked off its 2023-24 season with a production of playwright Arthur Miller's classic The Crucible. The shows were on Friday, November 17th and Saturday, November 18th, starting at 7 p.m. The production featured a cast and crew of more than 50 students. Lincoln Park High School ranked among the top 10 schools in Michigan for the number of students to receive the Seal of Biliteracy, which recognizes high school graduates who have achieved proficiency in 2 or more languages. Nearly 60 Lincoln Park students, graduated seniors, received the award for 22 and 23 academic year. The Lincoln Park Public Schools recently created a new partnership with Corewell Health in Trenton to provide on-the-job internships for adult students 18 to 26 with intellectual and developmental disabilities. The partnership, part of the nationwide Project Search program, offers students the opportunity to gain real-world skills in food service, marketing, sales, custodial service, and more that can be applied to numerous fields. Students receive a combination of classroom instruction and job coaching in collaboration with Michigan Rehabilitation Services to hone their skills. And with that, I will say have a wonderful Thanksgiving, and thank you for Lincoln Park.
And with that, I'm going to say happy Thanksgiving for,
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
There was one more thing.
One more thing.
Fantasyland Volunteer Christmas Party is November 27th at 6 p.m. So anybody that volunteered, it's a special night for families, volunteers and their families.
Thank you. And with that, I wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving and call for the adjournment.
So moved. Support.
Call for the vote.
Councilpersons Salcido?
Yes.
Dupre?
Yes.
Ross?
Yes.
Thor?
Yes.
Tobin? And Mayor Higgins.
Yes.